Canada marks its first National Day for Truth and Reconciliation on September 30th, 2021, a day to recognize and to commemorate the voices for the Indigenous communities. Many Indigenous and non-Indigenous communities are voicing their opinions and thoughts on what this day means to them and how it can shape Canada's social and political climate. Assembly of First Nations National Chief Roseanne Archibald states, "Today and every day, I stand in support of survivors and intergenerational trauma survivors. I honor September 30th as a day of remembrance and grief, and I lift up Phyllis Webstad. She was a young First Nations girl who had her shiny new orange shirt taken from her upon arriving at an institution known as the St. Joseph's Mission Residential School. She survived the institution, told her story, and in 2013, the Orange Shirt campaign to commemorate all the survivors was launched in Williams Lake. Today and every day, let's hold a vision of happy, healthy children surrounded by the love and care of the families in safe, vibrant communities. Every child matters, and our little ones have an inherent right to safety, love, and happiness. I also welcome the designation of National Day for Truth and Reconciliation to remind all Canadians of the harm done to our little ones." Inuit Council President Monica L. Kenayuk states, "The creation of a National Day for Truth and Reconciliation is an important step towards healing. Healing takes time. In some cases, it will take a lifetime. Many Inuit are on the healing path. Our communities need healing as a result of the intergenerational trauma passed down from relatives over the decades. A day like this allows everyone in Canada to reflect on what happened as a result of the residential schools. This year especially, with the discovery of hundreds of unmarked graves of Indigenous children on the grounds of former residential schools, we have a reason to pause and reflect on the profound meaning of truth and reconciliation." Governor General Mary May Simon, "As we mark the first National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, I think back to how my childhood shaped me, how so many in our communities and thousands more Indigenous children across Canada were ripped away from their homes, separated from their families, and sent to residential schools where they were not allowed to speak their languages or honor their culture, and we were punished if we did. As the child of a white father and an Inuk mother, I was not allowed to attend. I stayed behind, homeschooled, and visited families where there was a palpable void. I was a stand-in, a well-loved substitute for mothers and fathers who desperately missed their children. Since the launch of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission of Canada and the publication of calls to action, and more recently, with the discoveries of unmarked graves of residential school children, Canada's real history has been laid bare. The legacy of colonization has had devastating repercussions for Indigenous people, including the loss of language, culture, and heritage. This pain has been felt from generation to generation, and it continues today. As we strive to acknowledge the horrors of the past, the suffering inflicted on Indigenous peoples, let us all stand side by side with grace and humility and work together to build a better future for all." Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has stated, "On behalf of the Government of Canada, I encourage all Canadians to take this opportunity to learn more about the history of residential schools in Canada, listen to the stories of survivors and their families, and reflect on how each of us play a part in the journey of reconciliation. I also encourage everyone to wear an orange shirt today to help spread awareness because every child matters." Conservative leader Erin O'Toole, "In order for Canada to reach its full potential as a nation, reconciliation must be central to those efforts. This starts with public commemoration, education, and conversations about the painful and lasting impacts of residential schools. Canada's Conservatives will continue to support Indigenous children, families, and communities and advocate for meaningful and measurable action to advance reconciliation in this country." For more information on how you can educate yourself and learn more about the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, please visit the website of Government of Canada. That way we can build and spread awareness.